We're live.
Greetings and welcome to Nasty Habits, episode 5 of Something in the Dark. I am your host and game master, Aaron. Something in the Dark is an actual play of Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG from Green Ronin Publishing, using concepts and themes from the Supernatural Handbook, and is set within the connected version of Earth Prime that can be seen in many other offerings from the Untold Stories project. Mutants and Masterminds is a D20-based system that allows players and GMs to create stories featuring all of the greatest heroes of their imagination. Mutants and Masterminds is flexible enough to handle most superheroic shenanigans, complex enough to handle most weird situations, and simple enough to be easy to play. One of the things that I love about this game is the inclusion of hero points. These allow our heroes to re-roll a die, take an extra action, recover from a dangerous condition, use a power stunt to use their abilities in creative ways, and the like. Our heroes each get to start with one of those hero points, and they can get extra points for good role-playing, funny jokes, clever decisions, for me using their complications against them, and by your generosity. If you subscribe, renew a subscription, or donate bits to the stream, you will generate a hero point that can be given to the player of your choice. We are a small but growing streaming network. All of those follows and subscribes and likes and subscribes over on YouTube help keep us visible and growing and paying our bills. Now, a quick word of warning. Unlike some of our other shows and streams, this show is rated M for mature. While it deals with superheroes and it is set on Earth Prime, this is intended as a horror stream. On this show, we will be dealing with issues of mental health, body horror, kidnapping, torture, murder, and similarly adult topics. This show is not suitable for younger audiences and may trigger some adults. In addition, while this show will mostly take place in the city of New Orleans, and we have stolen liberally from the real-world version of that city, our Earth Prime version may be slightly different in terms of names and places. As a final administrative note, we now have a partnership with Norse Foundry, and through that partnership, our viewers can get 10% off any purchase from Norse Foundry by using the code USPNorse with no space on their website. We are coming up on the holidays, so it is the perfect time to buy awesome dice for the dice goblins in your life. And speaking of awesome things, let's meet our awesome players for tonight, shall we? Sing me a song, heroes.
Sing me a song, heroes.
La 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 la.
Heroes, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, who you are playing, where else our listeners can find you, and answer our question of the week, which is, what would your character's theme song be?
Father.
And since he's brand new here, let's kick it off with Alex.
Well, hello, everyone. I am very excited to finally be able to be here for Something in the Dark. As mentioned, my name is Alex. I am the line developer for Mutants and Masterminds of Green Ronin Publishing, as well as the executive producer here at the Untold Stories Project. And today, I will be taking on the role of Anton Walker, the protagonist of my Titan City Chronicles novel series, coming through a multidimensional portal to do some bad things, probably. We'll see. As for the answer to the question of the day, Anton's theme song, at least on the playlist I have for him currently, is The Man Who Sold the World, either the David Bowie version or the Nirvana cover from the MTV Unplugged set.
Okay.
Now pass it over to Wiki.
Hi, I'm Wiki, and I play Harper Graves, the resident stabby person. To answer the question of the day, her theme song would probably be Monster from Skillet. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but that's her theme song.
Yeah.
And I will apologize in advance if you can hear any screaming, yelling, celebrating, disgruntledness in the background behind me. It's because our MLS team is playing in their second game of the playoffs tonight, and I can't watch it, but my partner is watching it, and he may get loud and I apologize. And I'll pass it to Aunt Puppy.
Hi, I'm Aunt Puppy. I will be playing Professor Daffodil Carey Pembroke. To answer the question of the day, I came up with 2 songs, kind of depending on what sort of inspirational theme music she needs for the moment. So I picked Rise Up by Andra Day because I love that song and it's on a commercial. I don't know what the commercial is for, and I am not usually a crier, but it gets me every time. I tear up a little bit every time I see it. It's if I remember, it's like some sort of like girls being powerful thing, and I'm just like, they're so powerful, and I'm like wiping tears from my eyes. So if she needs, I'm doing it right now actually. So but if she needs a song that's like that song that's going to get her going, that's kind of what she would want her theme song to be. The other one I picked was Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. So that one's just kind of self-explained. That should make everyone feel good. So I've spent many of my high school years listening to that song on repeat while sobbing uncontrollably. So that's my go-to. And with that, I will pass it to Jemmy.
I'm Jemmy. I will be playing the Magnificent Mystical Master Mage of Math, Magic, and Music, or if you want a simpler name, Muse, also known as Micah if you don't know the superhero part. Find me around the network other places. I don't know. I'm too tired to do that part of the introduction. Find me around, throw a dart, we'll see. To answer the question of the day, I had been kind of dwelling over what would Muse's theme song be, and at first just came up with the sarcastic answer of just hit him with a C minor scale, because it's the most common scale just for music, and they are a master of music. But then I was in my dance class and I had an epiphany, and I think it's funny that that was a lyric that my dad decided to make us say as our Hello Heroes.
Ah.
Zoom did not like my answer.
No,
Anyway, that was the lyric that I don't know where it cut me.
When you naming the song is when it cut out. So
yeah.
right before you said it.
Like I could hear your laugh down the hall, but I couldn't hear what you said.
No, I laughed because it cut me off. Anyway, no. To answer, the choice I went with was Piano Man.
Oh.
Because
Got it.
which is why I was trying so hard not to laugh when you started us by saying, sing us a song. As I was like, he doesn't know.
I did not.
So this is funny, and I'm really amused that Zoom kicked me. Because that is hilarious. The timing. Oh, okay. Anyway, Brandon, have you gone?
Nope.
It's up to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brandon. I am playing the ancient Greek lovers Orpheus and Eurydice of myth. Orpheus's song would be Tank! Exclamation point. The theme song from Cowboy Bebop. Not because he's anything like Cowboy Bebop, but just because it's like probably the most well-known instrumental piece that features any kind of saxophone-like instrument. But for those of you who are into drum corps or Western art music, the lesser well-known song would probably be Malagueña, because he's just all about music and being incredibly good at performing. Eurydice, what with being a timeless being of nature, her theme song would naturally be Colors of the Wind, the song that's all about the timelessness of nature.
from Pocahontas.
Would she sing at someone? How can there be so much that you don't know?
Probably.
Great. I love that.
And I think that's it. So I will pass it up to Aaron. Unless I
All right.
I'm pretty sure Deuce hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
I have miscounted, so I will pass it over to Deuce.
Snap. Howdy, everybody. I'm the Deuce. I am the Samoas to Kevin's Thin Mints of the Untold Stories Project. I'm playing Lawrence Rain, a mild-mannered priest, and his dark passenger Babel, an ancient spirit of conflict. You know, I can usually think of a very clever and funny, witty answer to this. I couldn't, so I just went with what seems very appropriate, and that would be an oldie but a goodie, Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. And yeah, I'm sorry I let you down, everyone, but next week I'll think of something funny. Probably not.
And being
With-
super harsh to Kevin, too.
I mean, I will never be disappointed by someone bringing up Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones,
Mhm.
because that may be one of, not the, but one of the most perfect songs ever written.
Mhm.
Oh,
Also, I
Well,
think he was a little harder on himself this week, Brandon, because Thin Mints are so much better than Samoas.
Agreed.
You're all wrong.
ooh. I don't know. The hot take is the fact I think the Rolling Stones only have 2 good songs and I could care less about the
We're
rest. That's
backing
what
up.
makes
We're
it harsh.
backing up.
You
As
are
the
right
Girl
about that.
Scout here,
Hmm?
Thin Mints are better.
What's the other one?
Painted Black.
Yes.
Fair.
That's a good song.
I feel like it goes downhill from there.
I would agree.
But
I'll
I'm willing
agree.
to be wrong.
I like Satisfaction, but I'll agree.
It's okay.
I could take it or leave it. But yeah, those 2, I'm here for it. After that, so feel free, Aaron, take us away.
So when last we saw our heroes, they had managed to more or less successfully defuse the entire situation surrounding Erica Vance. Erica Vance is the granddaughter of Courtney Vance, director of Arcade, the mysterious government organization who have brought our heroes in to find their missing strike team.
Yippee.
I say mostly successful because, they found Erica after Erica was already transformed by the vampire cult into a vampire-esque creature. But that vampire involvement with that vampire cult did lead them to this graveyard. They let go a captured vampire cultist named Derek, who was a former student of Muse's, and followed him to a graveyard, where before he could enter the abandoned church, he was taken out by a sniper rifle shot.
Oopsie.
That'll teach him.
Yeah. After the shot rang out, our heroes discovered that Dutch and his team were present, and thanks to a speaker vine from Eurydice, Dutch and his team are coming out of the graveyard to talk with the heroes. And I believe that is where we will pick up. So, Wiki, would you like to take us over to the Roll20 map?
I guess.
I have to use words.
You sure do.
Have to is a very relative term.
I mean,
I do have to.
you could let someone else do the talking.
Only other person I'm trusting of talking right now is Larry.
On it.
But I did also start by introducing myself, so.
You did. I believe you said something along the lines of, I think we're your replacements.
No, I did not say that.
Okay.
I think someone else said that.
Ah.
Because I do not want that as our first step.
You could try pleased to meet you. Won't you ask my name?
All right. So
Why don't you do that?
Dutch and his crew come out of the cemetery. They are all holding weapons, but none of them are openly brandishing them, or the attitude that is picked up is one of readiness for a fight, but not spoiling for it. So Dutch comes out, looks around. He can see Orpheus, Muse.
You're
And-
He cannot see Orpheus. He knows the Orpheus is there because it's actually Eurydice, and Eurydice's like hiding in the tree, so she's invisible. But she like waved with the branch, and she's like making it clear she's there. But
Got it. Okay. So he knows there's a tree controller. He can see Muse and Larry. Harper is hiding over in the rubble. Carrie is only present via her drone. And well, we'll talk about Anson in a moment.
we
Have to crawl out of one of these graves.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I would like
I
to
just want a
think
portal to open up, but it's like in the air and horizontal, so it just falls and splats face first.
all of my
So,
introduction had got lost.
Totally did. So, which one of the two is the leader of this outfit?
I don't really think we've decided on a leader yet.
Your departure left things very quickly in needing of help.
So you're working for Vance?
As it seems you are in a different capacity.
Well, that depends.
Well, it does seem like we both have the similar goal of coming here for a reason.
Oh, you mean were you tracking that vampire?
Yes.
All right, whoever's talking in the trees, you can make yourself visible or we can start setting fires.
Please don't.
That'd be kind of rude.
It does seem counterintuitive to your plan on dealing with the vampires, though.
Dee, would you be willing to come out?
Yeah, it looks like they're not itching to
I think we're on the same side.
shoot holes in our faces.
Sorry, I just have a policy if I don't have conversations with people I can't see.
That's
A fair
fair and
policy, I
understandable.
think.
Nah.
So it seems like you are preparing an assault as well.
Yeah, we figured out where the nest is, and our plan was to go and make sure that no vampires come walking out of there again.
Would it help you to know if we said that we're pretty sure they're not vampires?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not traditional vampires, but they're close enough.
I sure think they are.
And then at that point, Rachel, the young woman who is carrying a weapon that is an unholy amalgamation of several sporting goods, says, yeah, and it's amazing how many things will die if you stake them through the heart or cut off their head. So they're good enough for me.
May I ask a possibly unpleasant question?
Go for it.
Once this is over, do you intend to return?
Oh, well, I mean, that kind of depends on the director.
Do think they want you back.
Well, right now they want you dead because, you know, they think you abandoned them and are working on the side of the vampires or in
That's
some
fair.
other way.
Dr. Eastman then says, I did kind of warn you that that might happen. Look, this is not the first time that I've just gone off on our own and taken care of business, and then we filled in Director Vance later. You know why we had to do it. Yes.
I'm just saying you're gonna need to have a conversation at a distance before you come in.
I think she might be out of her anger. She's already scolding her granddaughter.
And for what it's worth, I think for what good it will do, we can sort of speak highly of what you're doing as well.
Granddaughter?
Erica?
Ah. Found out about that, did you? Huh. Yeah, that's why we decided to take care of things on our own.
She's not like the one you just shot dead.
Oh, I didn't know if she'd been turned already.
Yes, but no.
Hmm.
Long story. It's better to have an eye on her, but
She's
There's
back
still-
home.
There's still some holes. There is some kind of ambrosia-like substance that they are giving to people to give them the fangs and the strength and the whatnot. It's not vampirism. It isn't a need for blood. But you know, they're just, you know, it's if you've played too much, if you've gotten way too into character in your tabletop games, and you suddenly have vampire-like powers, there's a high chance that you're going to be really, really stupid with them. They were really eager, though, for Erica to feed on someone, so it does make Orfeo suspect that might be part of the process. There might be a second step or something like that. It's still not. We still putting all the pieces together.
They seem to have markers one of our compatriots found out similar to your blood.
Yeah.
Now,
The demon part.
how you been getting a hold of my blood?
We're working with Director Vance.
Hmm.
We tend to leave a bit of it around. Comes with the job.
Dutch looks over to Dr. Eastman. Look, I can only clean traces of so much. You didn't tell me to go into the labs and take anything that they had on us.
You even missed a spent shell casing in your office.
It was on purpose, wasn't it?
Maybe. Alyssa kicks him.
Don't need an insight roll on that one.
It's fine. Ultimately, it seems that you have backup now. Or we have 2 teams going in instead of 1. I feel that helps our odds, yes?
Yes. Dutch and Sergeant Baker both then immediately turn their heads up to the north, where Harper is now casually sitting on the rubble that she was hiding in. And their weapons snap to attention. She
Go.
with you?
Yes.
That's one of ours.
She's a little
I'm-
twitchy.
Her. And I point to what was her name?
Don't know.
Rachel. I'll point over at Rachel. I'm her.
Don't face it. There. She's not our most social.
I'm pretty sure I'm me.
You know what I mean.
I wish I did.
I just.
Means she went through some shit.
Mhm. That's what I'm guessing.
Can I get a perception check from the party, please?
Sure. I can't promise it'll be a good roll.
I'd love to fail a perception check for you.
I know, right?
I'm assuming since I'm not there, I don't have to do. You don't want me to do it, right?
Get your
I
Um,
rolled
Hey.
a 1, or no, I rolled a 2 and got a
I rolled a
2.
3 for an 11.
20.
Harper, you can hear what sounds like the movement of some furniture coming from inside the ruined church.
I will cock my head toward the sound, snap and hold up my hand, and then point. You know, As in, listen, do you smell something?
You got
I
the
will
got
move
nothing.
back into the tree.
Dutch is going to nod to his team. And Baker is going to step over towards the basically the ruined gates,
Mhm.
along with Dr. Eastman. Rachel's going to step out into the middle of the open, making herself bait.
Parker
Alyssa
will follow suit.
Alyssa will vanish.
Can I pull out an instrument if I see them all readying up?
Yeah.
Now, does
Cool.
the perception check? So I'm using my seeing eye vine,
Mm-hmm.
and Brandon is seeing something.
Yep.
Does Eurydice see that something, or does the failed perception check mean Eurydice does not see that something?
Eurydice should see that now. Would not have seen it when I asked for the perception check.
Gotcha. So she's just gonna kind of let out in a as low as she can. We got at least 5 incoming from the south side of the building, coming out. Looks like they're gonna probably come out through this entrance here. That entrance at the south side, at the southeast corner of the building.
Look at Micah and give a thoughtful nod before unbuttoning his sleeves and walking forward.
All right.
Probably a nod in
With
return.
that, I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
Got to clear the thing first. Oh no. Okay, never mind.
Not me though, because none of my drones are attack drones.
Right, but you can use your telekinesis anywhere you can perceive.
That's true.
And they've taken enough blood, I wouldn't classify them as not attack drones.
Exactly.
Damn. Damn.
Strong too, baby.
Oof.
That's a 12.
Oh my, what? Well, maybe if I get all my nat ones out of my system in combat here or in initiative rolls, then
We did have 4 subs. If everybody,
We did.
they were all us. So
I gave mine to Aaron.
why would you do that?
you're the fucking worst.
I know, isn't it great?
I gave mine to Jemmy. I was assuming that Aunt Puppy gave hers to herself.
Yes.
No, I would give it to Wiki.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I'm not my stuff isn't attack stuff like that. So it's like I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna be, Leroy Jenkins into battle this time. So I'm like, I should probably give it to somebody else.
Fair enough. Well, then, in that case,
Technically they can't hurt me, so
I will give, you think,
yeah, that's true. I assume.
I will give that hero point to Wiki.
And I was going to give mine to Alex as Anson's welcome gift.
Thank you, Wiki.
Welcome to hell, sir.
No, I'm here for it. Aaron, I don't have a token, but I did roll a 13 on my initiative.
You do have a token.
It didn't auto-populate on the
It-
round counter.
Darn, it didn't. It should. It's supposed to be smart enough to do that. Your token's just currently on the GM layer is all.
Oh, it might be in the turn order. Then I just can't see it because
Oh
it's on
yeah,
the GM
no, it
layer.
is. You're
Okay.
there.
Cool.
Yeah, no, you're on the GM layer because you're not here yet.
You do not exist right now.
All right. So as vampires begin to emerge from the crypt, the highest initiative goes to Dr. Eastman, who reaches into his coat, pulls out a bottle, and chugs it. And then he draws a wand.
Bonus action potion.
Bonus
not a
action,
bonus action.
liquid courage.
But yes. Muse, you are next.
Oh God, why would I do that? I don't even know what's here.
You can always wait until someone.
Um,
You can always delay.
I mean, I do have like 500 feet of movement.
You do.
I didn't even decide what instrument I'm playing.
Sure, you said you were drawing an instrument, but you didn't actually say which one. I think it should be a lyre, just for,
Funny.
I
Piano
vote
tie.
hurdy-gurdy.
Why would you call them a liar? That is so mean.
Wait, okay, so do you guys know the really obscure, like, freaking, like, keyboard things that, like, you have to, like, blow into to make the music?
Talk about melodica,
Yeah,
like John Baptiste plays.
yeah, thank you. That's
Still
what
think-
music.
I still think piano tie is classier.
I still vote hurdy-gurdy.
What's the hurdy-gurdy?
Hurdy-gurdy. Sound like
Hurdy-gurdies are amazing. Watch your mouth.
Hey,
What are they?
Harper, be aware that you got a +2 to your next roll for moral support given to you by Warden Maximus.
Ah,
Thank
you.
cool.
they sound like what
Thank you.
like they're purpose built for creepy horror movies.
Oh,
Or pirate
know.
shanties.
All right, so Muse, what are you doing?
you know what? No, we're just going with tambourine.
Okay.
Mm,
Little, like, okay. And we're gonna fly.
All right.
I'm gonna go over by Harper.
Bonus points if you sing a monkey song while you play it.
I sing a what?
A monkey song.
Seriously, I was just typing that. I was like,
Yeah.
that's the lead singer of the Monkees. Damn it.
All right, so you're flying over next to Harper?
I would love, oh, maybe. I think I broke my token. On my end.
Okay. Do you want me to move you next to Harper?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I did it. I fixed it. Um,
And then?
I'm not seeing any of the threat.
They said or D said to the south.
Great. I don't see anything there.
Right, because they're not there yet.
Mhm.
So they're coming.
Yeah, they're still in the building. You probably don't have line of sight to them yet.
So I'm going to ready an action, which is when I can see an enemy, I'm going to blast them.
Okay.
Okay. No, mine isn't. Okay, so mine is. I do actually, I think, have to roll.
Yeah, you don't have perception range on your blasts.
Cool.
Rachel is going to fall to the ground, obscuring her improvised weapon, and call out, "Ah, my ankle!" And is going to make a deception check to trick the incoming vampires.
It'd
Okay.
be a shame if someone came and ate me right now.
That is exactly it. And then she will ready
Guys,
her.
quick! Someone help her! She's hurt. Because I rolled a 1 on that insight.
Okay. Rushing out of the room or out of the rubble.
Now, is this a warehouse or a church?
It is a abandoned, destroyed church.
Okay.
With a graveyard in front of it.
I'm sure nothing will happen with that.
No,
So
not
that's
at
fine.
all. So one of the vampires comes rushing out. Muse, you do have line of sight on him if you would like to take your readied action.
I would love to.
Okay.
Burn, baby, burn. This kind flame hell. 25 to hit.
Yeah.
25 DC.
Um,
And if the little
Theoretic-
song I sung didn't give you the answer.
yeah, I'm assuming it's a fire blast then.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically he can make that.
Cool. Don't.
He did not.
Oof.
with 14. So what happens to this blood cultist?
I mean, I think I just gave you the answer in the little song I sang.
Okay.
Burn him to death.
You incinerate him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ashes fall. She's now covered in ashes.
Someone comes rushing at her and then turns into ash.
Because combat rounds are all essentially at the same time, the other one won't have time to change his mind and is also going to come running towards her.
That I can't attack.
No, but she can.
Yep.
That is a 33 to hit
Okay.
with her improvised weapon. Is it GM rolling that, or can you see it?
We can see it.
We can see it. It just lags for me.
Okay. So yes, that is a 33 to hit, and she does have improved critical. So that is a DC 27. He rolled really well,
But not a natural 20.
but not a natural 20, which is what he needed. So he comes, the red one comes running towards her, sees his buddy turn to ash, kind of steps, like, recoils just before he gets to Rachel. And she stands up, swiping with her sporting good tool, and takes off its head. And he is no more. All right. At that moment, something unusual is going to happen.
Something more unusual than vampires running out to eat us?
I mean, you expected the vampires to come out and try to eat you.
That feels sort of typical for our regular lives.
Yeah, I mean,
It's true.
as a portal opens up in space.
You're gonna hear from my lawyers.
You don't have a copyright on the phrase portal. And tumbling out of it are two gentlemen. Alex, would you like to describe these two gentlemen to us?
Sure. Both of them look distinctly vampire-ish.
That's not good.
Why would you lead with that?
Just
Because he's Alex.
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
Alex and wants us to attack him.
these two men look bedraggled and beaten by dozens of years of dirt, grit, and grime from an unmentionable plane of torment and banishment. They are lean, thin, gaunt, with rabid, crazed looks in their eyes, disheveled clothes. The one who lands first with the dark hair has a large, unrefined diamond on a necklace around his neck, with glowing white, mystical orbs around him. And the younger-looking man is blonde, somehow with a 1,000-yard stare that's even worse than the other guys. And both of them seem at once relieved and euphoric to be here, and terrified when they noticed all of you engaged in whatever is happening.
Pleasure to meet you. Get behind us.
I guess.
Anson, you are on it's your initiative. Do you wish to do anything?
I mean, that's what I'll say to
You
him.
are actually probably not in position to see any of the vampires.
Except the dead ones.
No, they're behind the portal.
I guess you could probably see me.
Where is here?
Earth,
Oh, God.
New
get
Orleans.
behind us. You're at a bad point.
New where?
Busy fighting. Explain later.
Oh,
Behind
Marcus, we're in
us.
France. Something happened to Old Orleans.
Old Orleans?
And I'll get ready to fight, I guess.
I guess.
Or don't. Okay, okay.
Can vampires open up portals?
No.
I mean, I don't see why
The
they
portal
couldn't.
closes,
Also true. Demonically enhanced, right?
If I'm going with the response of me saying Earth and them saying oh good, is this is a conversation to have when we are not fighting.
Eurydice.
I would like. Let's see here. Gotta figure out what's this. So, yeah, right about here, the farthest that I can see,
Uh-huh.
everything in a 30-foot burst, 30-foot radius burst, needs to give a fortitude save DC 24. I'm not sure how this works, and so I'm gonna need you to run me by this because the idea is like a blight. And so it is a fortitude save that I want to resist, but it's going to do damage. Is it a fortitude save? And then like, how do you get it to do fortitude and damage?
Okay, so you can make the damage effect a resisted by fortitude instead of resisted by toughness.
That's right. I thought alternate resistance was going to cover that.
It does.
I just wasn't sure. Okay, so that's what happens then. That's what I got set up for, and that's what I paid for.
But it would still need, being an area effect, they would still get a dodge save for half.
Okay.
Because that's how area effects work.
Let me make sure I don't have subtle on them. This one.
It shouldn't matter. They still get the area.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, that would just be unavoidable, and that's way too cheap.
Gotcha.
Subtle just means they don't know where it came from.
Right. Okay. Insidious is you don't know you've been attacked.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So yeah.
All right. So it looks to me
of kind of.
Yeah, it looks to me like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cultists in the area of effect. Do you want me to roll a single dodge save for them all, or
single dodge individual forts?
Fair enough. That is a 7 on their dodge because that was a natural. So what is the damage rank?
It is damage 9.
So 24.
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
One of them. One pass.
All right. So what happens with this effect?
Are they minions?
Oh yeah.
So, various things to different ones. Some just break out in these painful boils.
And
just fall collapsing. Some go super gaunt, as if like the life force and like water and whatnot within them is just drained out.
Ew.
Some just get these like the classic kind of like black inkiness like in their veins going up and around, they just fall down. But it's various kinds of diseases and rots and things like that. Things that kill plants are just infecting them and just
gross.
Yeah.
Okay. Harper. Eurydice, did you want to take a move action?
No.
Okay.
I'm very happy hiding in this tree.
Fair. Harper.
There is currently nothing to murder.
Nothing that you can currently see now. Unless you want to murder the guy who just stepped out of the portal.
I mean, I considered it, and then Muse started talking to it, so
he's not pinging as a demon.
Okay. Then I am going to
give me a perception check if you'd like.
Okay. I'll do that. 27.
You can hear something coming from this edge of the building up to the north.
I will hold.
Okay. Let me know when you wish to re-enter the initiative.
Yep.
Sergeant Baker will hold because there's nothing to shoot.
there's nothing to kill. What am I doing?
Purple blood cultists. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Rah! Two cultists come running out from the north end of the building towards Harper.
Cool.
Harper, would you like to re-enter the initiative?
I sure would.
Okay. I thought you might.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just like to punch
Make
one
them
of them in
regret-
the teeth.
Make them regret their life choices.
I would like to do that, yes. 21 to hit, and we'll go with the one directly in front of me first.
That will hit.
23.
He will get an 8 on his toughness save.
Cool.
Not enough.
Take down one.
Yep.
Next, please.
Well, there's another one right next to him.
Ooh, I don't know if that's going to hit.
14.
That's a 14.
14 will not hit.
Here, have this hero point.
Already, huh? Okay.
Yep, I got 2, and I can't. I need to be cool.
You
23.
can't take them with you when you're gone. That's a 23. That'll hit.
23.
And that is an 11 on his toughness save. So tell us how you dispatch these two.
So I hear
vampire
the
creatures.
movement coming toward us, and I just, instead of turning, I'm still looking at the portal guys,
Uh-huh.
and they come screaming up into my face, and as they sort of open their mouths to like do whatever it is they think they're going to do, I
Uh-huh.
just turn and punch through them both.
That's unfortunate.
You're getting a nice collection of vampire teeth.
Well,
You're gonna make a necklace, maybe some earrings.
possibly.
Okay. I have one green cultist still active, or still active in a place where he can do something. He doesn't want to have anything to do with Rachel, having seen the horrible thing that she just did. So he's going to run past her and leap onto Larry.
No, that's a bad choice, I think.
That's probably the best choice.
He'll power attack, all out attack, because he's hungry.
I'm hungry, but I don't get to eat right now.
That is a 27 to hit Larry.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
That is a DC 26 toughness save.
Let's see how bad this goes.
Oh
a
my
3.
goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah, sure.
Larry, would you like to?
Sure, why not?
Bye bye, Larry. Hello, Babel.
Strong 15.
Yeah. So that is still a fail by 11. That is a stagger.
Sure.
GM.
Yeah.
Can I possibly also say something real quick?
Sure.
I am going to say, hey, these vampires have actually done the feeding. They might make for a good contrastive blood sample.
You can
They
clean it
got
off
one.
my fist later.
All right. Carrie.
Well,
And to be kind of an asshole, she says that in French because the newcomer seems to think we're in France. So,
well, good thing French is one of Carrie's languages. She
Say,
knows.
Anthony, you speak French, don't you?
Yeah, I speak French.
Oh, man, I also speak French. Let's do it.
I do too. Does anybody not speak French?
I don't think Micah speaks French.
I think Carrie speaks like 8 or 9 languages.
Most of Dutch's team doesn't speak French.
Zudalor.
I don't speak French as a real person. That was not what I picked.
I started doing French on Duolingo.
Yeah, that doesn't count unless you put points into
I
it.
don't think that counts.
Yeah.
I guess technically I speak 1920s French, which I don't know how different it is compared to 1920s English.
We see, we.
Actually, I don't think any of Dutch's team speaks French. Dr. Eastman does have a variety of other languages, but French is not one of them.
Harper
Okay.
was just being an asshole. So
So what are you doing, Carrie?
So Carrie is shit. I don't know what Carrie's gonna do.
I mean, there is a vampire who just tried to eat Larry.
I know. So those gates that are there on the ground, how much do those weigh? Because I think she's gonna use them to slice through the
That seems
vampire.
entirely within the realm of your abilities.
Okay.
At least to use one of them to do so.
Yeah, she's basically gonna take it and like slice down.
like a cheese grater.
Yeah. She's gonna more like those apple slicers. She's gonna apple slice them. Just squash. So is that I mean that would count as throwing, right? So I would do it as my thrown object.
Yes, which I believe is actually perception range, so I just need to know what the toughness difficulty is.
Toughness. The DC is 23.
Well, that's not okay. That is a 9. Would you like to tell us what happens to poor Mr. Green Dot?
So basically she sees what because she's still kind of behind everybody, taking a full view of records and recording, and in case we want to go back and look at anything that we've done. So she's recording everything. She sees what happens to Larry, and she's sitting in her lab, and knowing that she obviously can't actually go and do anything, she screams, sees the gate, lifts it up, and then just apple slices him straight down. So he's just kind of cuts into nice little even pieces, even little vampire pieces. He can now go on a charcuterie board. Charcuterie of vampires.
That is an image I never
You're
needed.
not even gonna peel the skin off? Ew, I hate apples with the skin off.
The skin's the best part.
Yeah.
That was much more terrifying than being attacked by a vampire. Okay.
He was probably like, oh, that's what actually staggered him.
That's not cool. That's no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna how in the book that I'm writing I'm gonna make Carrie a little bit more violent.
Yeah. Dutch is going to call out and say, Alyssa, if they're sending this many out, there's more inside. Get us recon. And is then going to draw Betsy. And move up to the north because there's some other vampires that were coming out of there. I can't remember. Does Dutch have an improved movement? He does not. So Dutch is going to try to make an athletics check. Ooh, a 30 on his athletics check.
Gee, do you think he passed?
Yeah, so he will double his move to get up there. Yeah, there's more up here. And then he's going to shoot. 20 off Betsy the Colt revolver will hit.
Betsy the Colt revolver?
Mm-hmm. And the blood cultist will
Lose its head.
Yep, his head will explode into a fine mist.
Yummy.
There is a very, very loud bang as his Colt revolver goes off, however.
Are we talking Samaritan loud?
up there. There's nothing subtle about Dutch's gun. Which
Something
is
tells
part
me there's nothing subtle about Dutch.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason that he does also carry the regular standard issue gun.
The normal gun for when he's being subtle.
Right, exactly. Blue cultists. I have blue cultists, I think.
No.
I have no blue cultists who are in a position to currently do anything.
Well,
Larry.
sad. Well, feeling slightly bloody, but that's okay. It's not all mine. Look to the two gentlemen who just appeared. Go. Perhaps you should step back behind the gate, and I'm just going to take a recovery action to get rid of the staggered.
Okay.
I think I recognize a vampire hunt when I see one. This is a DMA thing?
I'm afraid I don't know what a DMA thing is, but you are mostly correct about vampires. Are you a hunter too?
Depends on who's paying. I'll forward the contract after we get finished with this.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
I
good.
expect
Just
$5 per day.
The tree starts laughing uncontrollably.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
that's right.
no. The tree wouldn't. The tree would actually think that's reasonable because she's been around long enough for that to not be absurdly low in her memory.
I'm afraid I can't speak for contracts, but in regards to your safety, do as you must.
Okay.
What are you two on about?
Marcus, I think you should go hang out with the frail one. I'll be back in a moment.
Dr. Eastman
Frail.
is going to extend a hand towards Anson and Marcus. Alex, what would an analytical detect magic that counters all concealment tell him about the two of you?
What would it tell him about me?
How big would the headache he get be?
It would tell
Actually,
him,
in Anson's current state, I think Dr. Eastman's a more powerful mage than Anson is. But
yeah, if we're talking in magical potential, I'm probably coming up as big magic. Marcus wouldn't read as magical at all at the moment.
okay. Would he be able to tell what tradition of magic you practice? I suspect not. But
I don't think. I think it's a 404 error. We're not compatible.
yeah, that's what I think too. But
If they have Green Lanterns here, maybe that's what he'll see.
well, I mean, it is still Earth Prime, so you know what.
Yeah.
You know
I'd probably,
who might actually recognize your magic, but
yeah, I would probably register as Adrian Eldritch. It's probably how I would read like a master mage, I think, to him.
okay.
Just in terms of capability. I could do everything.
Okay. He'll just kind of go, Dutch, we got to watch out for these newcomers, but I think they're on the side of the Angels for now. I'm joining Alyssa, and he will reach up to his necklace and break one of the capsules that's on the necklace, and he will vanish and teleport. And then from inside the church, you'll hear him say, "There's 10 more in here."
Ooh.
Yeah, that felt like a wizard thing to do.
Is he saying it like loud so that we all hear it, or is it a oh wow no oh this bad?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't sound like he's in full-on panic, but he is sitting there going, I would really prefer not to be here alone.
If anybody would have wanted to keep me
It was
company,
it was
I wouldn't
an
object.
informative cry for help.
I mean, it's kind of like he's not a sitting duck. It's not like he just immediately put himself into the, oh shit, now I'm going to die. But it is there's a lot more people here than I thought there were going to be. So, Muse, you're up.
Oh, I just heard someone yell from inside.
You sure did.
So, what's the best way I could get inside?
I mean, you could go flying. You have plenty of distance.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
You could also can't you shadow step?
I think that's a stand.
Teleport's a move action.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's just teleport in.
Unless you have it set up to only be to take longer than a.
I don't think I do.
I don't think so either.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, 500 feet in a move action.
No,
You
that's
can only
my
step from
flight.
one shadow to another, but you're kind of currently in lots of shadows.
Yeah, let's go.
And it's probably reasonable to assume that the inside of the church is also shadowed.
All right, that's fine.
Ping where you would like to appear.
Where was the voice coming from?
Somewhere around here.
Cool. Let's go around there.
Okay. And Muse, can you see in the dark?
Nope.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's
Hey,
terrible for
guess
you.
what?
although actually it occurs to me that he would be broadcasting some light, so because he cannot see in the dark either.
So I'll be like, can he? Ouch! Cool.
So that's your move action. What would you like to do with your standard? I'm guessing that the stream cannot see that, but
No, they
I
won't be able
kinda
to until I
jumped
can.
right next to one group
yep.
of them. I would mutter a few swears in Arabic.
I would like to immediately regret my decision.
In Arabic?
And then try to burn one of them.
Okay. Not Hebrew?
Micah, that's not French.
Hebrew, sorry, I'm so tired. I forgot which language I had. Yeah, Hebrew. Lots of swears muttered. And then okay, that's one.
You kiss your mother with that mouth.
I don't think my mother knows I do magic with this.
Anywho, there's 5 vampires right in front of you. What would you like to do?
Burn.
You don't have an area effect, do you?
No.
You could always power stunt for it.
I would love that, honestly. I have 2 hero points. Let's do that.
All right.
Bam. I just kind of want to burn all these guys.
Okay. I'll make 5 quick dodge checks.
And I guess hopefully also light one of these benches on fire.
Okay.
Just
Take
to
that
give us a
bench.
little more light.
Take
Fair
that
enough.
bench. That'll teach you.
I have a vengeance on
To be
benches
sitting there.
as the player. So benches in that style I see and I go, I want you gone.
What damage rank is your blast?
That's a good question. I don't know.
What damage does it do?
25 DC?
Okay, so it's a rank 10, so they would have needed a 20 dodge. None of them successfully dodge.
Woo!
Ooh. Someone almost made it.
One of them came real close, but
I like that.
yeah, so tell us what happens to this group of vampires inside here.
So Muse just kind of shadow steps in, was like, okay, there's 10. Okay, I can probably realizes they step in next to 5. Butter swears in Hebrew. It kind of just panic play, like does a little shake of the tambourine, and just burst of fire on the vampires with a little bit of a surprised look of I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Okay.
A
And yes,
panic fireball.
it is now burning and giving off light.
Only 5 now? Which would have sounded cool if not for the hesitance in Muse's voice.
Uh-huh.
And the cursing in Hebrew and the frantic tambourine playing.
Rachel.
I think that's
If
how
it's
that
only
song
5 now?
goes.
What?
Good.
Yeah, Rachel unfortunately also does not have enhanced movement. She will attempt an acrobatics check to double her speed. She will not make it.
Oopsie.
So she is going to move right up next to Harper and ready in action to swing at anything that gets close to her. Orange blood cultists. Well, that one doesn't do anything. That one can move though. And is going to run towards Dutch. He will miss Dutch with a 17. Because Dutch is cooler than that. And that one, yeah, dead, so they can't do anything. That one would want to do something about Dr. Eastman, but just saw somebody flash fry all of his friends.
What?
So he's going to try to eat Muse.
That's fair, I guess.
Vampires notoriously hate tambourines.
Will an 18 hit Muse?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a good dodge.
Okay. Well, then give me a DC 21 toughness save.
22.
You just like
Okay.
stick the tambourine in its mouth.
No, there's a shield I have. Don't forget.
I know.
So no, it's the tambourine has a shield that floats around me that just kind of he lodges his teeth into.
All right. My red cultist is going to swing at Dr. Eastman. Ooh, that's going to hit Dr. Eastman with a 27. Barely. And because he power attacked and all out attacked, actually Dr. Eastman has to make a toughness check. Dr. Eastman takes a bruise. Muse, you would see that as the vampire charges towards him, there is another amulet around Dr. Eastman's neck that kind of flashes with light, and kind of you see like a deflection shield appear around him.
Just a little nod.
All right. This vampire is going to run towards Harper because he's stupid.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it isn't. 23 to hit Harper.
That'll hit.
DC 26 as it rakes at you with its claws.
I don't want to though.
Ooh,
Are
ow.
you kidding me? One good roll, that's all I get.
Apparently. Yeah, because that's a 15 fail. That would incapacitate you.
Stupid hero point. Well, why I bother? 26.
Okay, you're fine. Where'd the hero point go?
Oh, I think it's in the church.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Where all
It kind
the
of
hero points
vanished into
go.
the darkness.
It's in the darkness. The other one's going to try to get Dutch. and will miss Dutch. Anson.
Perfect. Again, I'm going to tell Marcus to get back behind the gate, and I'm going to go handle business.
Marcus will, on your initiative, go out behind the gate. Because, yeah, you do that.
He is a non-combatant. I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to say I haven't seen this many vampires since the war. And I'm going to try and to kill this orange feller here.
All right.
First, I've got to roll a d20 to see if my magic works.
Yep.
Doesn't work, so I'll spend a hero point to make it work.
Okay.
As I focus my energy into the diamond around my neck, and it just sort of sparks and fizzles for a second, and I look a little shocked about that.
And the two people who would actually be in a position to understand what was going on are both inside the church and don't see it.
Yeah, but then I'll kill that orange guy over there with the 22.
22 will absolutely hit him.
DC 25 toughness.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Although when I roll like that, it sure is. That's a natural one. Please tell us what happens to Mr. Orange Dot.
Yeah, so my hand sort of sparked for a little bit, and then these enormous Mickey Mouse gloves appear, made of pure white light. They go over, grab him by both sides, and snap him like a pile of spaghetti, and throw him to both sides.
Okay.
That's the thing that happened.
Sure is. Dutch just kind of looks over at you and nods.
I will say back in French, good work.
Boom.
Dutch doesn't even know what that means.
I mean, yeah. Okay, Alyssa is invisible. But she will float into the... I'm going to go ahead and just move her back onto the token layer, because even though she's invisible, I don't feel like it matters if you guys don't know where she is, since you're not fighting against her. So Alyssa is going to float into the church in mist form. Engulf this green dot vampire. And he gets to make a fortitude save. He fails the fortitude save horribly, and is instantly turned from a living, breathing, snarling vampire into a desiccated husk.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Gopher responded with fun.
Muse, you can see the misty form of a woman. So. D?
Are there any kind of plants inside the building, weeds or anything in the dilapidated building?
Oh, probably.
I will go ahead and move my seeing eye vine. It's just, I'm using one of those as my vision spot.
Right.
And then, yeah, right about here, I'd say a healthy kind of 5-foot diameter tree just sprouts up. It's like 5-foot diameter, so it's probably 10, 15 feet tall. We'll go ahead and say an oak. And then D is going to walk through the tree that she's at to this tree, go behind it so that nobody can see her. And then all of a sudden we're going to have Orpheus, and he's gonna move over to here.
Question.
Yes.
Growing plants.
Yes. Is an action.
Yeah.
So all he's doing is just moving.
Okay.
The switch was a
Free action.
Free action, but because I grew the plant, it's just that's it.
Okay.
There's a tree.
And Eurydice or Orpheus.
Yes.
There's a tree, and then a dude.
That's my turn.
All righty. Sergeant Baker is in position to see the red dot vampire over by his boss. Trying to decide whether or not Sergeant Baker feels like being a soldier or giving into his own bloodlust.
Bloodlust, bloodlust, bloodlust.
Danes and wine, you're off the clock.
Yeah. So, Baker is going to toss his rifle behind him, but it's on a sling, so he's still carrying it, but bare his claws on his hands and say, "You want to see a vampire?" and flies across the graveyard.
Yeah.
And is going to try to tear out that guy's throat. That is a 28 to hit. So that will more than hit. And yeah. Our poor cultist will make a toughness save.
Our poor cultist is going, oh!
Oh no!
It is a free action to pee your pants.
He rolled a toughness save.
It
Oopsie,
theoretically
shit,
rolled a
which one?
toughness save, but with a natural 1, yeah, that cultist is just going to be. Yeah, he was going for the throat, but he comes away with most of the head.
It is an ex-cultist.
Uh-huh.
I accidentally closed roll 20.
Well, you
Good
can
job.
reopen it.
Yeah, but
You've got a few moments.
yeah. But
It's
my
not like-
Wi-Fi hates me.
Yeah. My purple blood cultist. Do I still have any purple blood cultists? I do. There's one inside who is really not loving his life.
Could always run away. Outside's probably better.
He is going to run away.
You can do it, Purple Pete.
He's going to run this way.
Ooh, wrong direction.
Through this door. Right here.
I think that's a choice.
Huh?
I'm just being sarcastic.
And Harper. I mean, there is unquestionably a vampire right to the north of you.
Yeah. But there's also screaming going on inside, and all of the fighters seem to be out here.
I mean, I just said that when we went from 10, I did say 5 now.
Sure. But
I will take a swing at this one as I'm leaving.
oh, I didn't even think about the fact that there was one next to you. I meant the vampire. I meant Sergeant Baker.
I already knew he was a vampire.
You did.
So I will take a swing at the red guy next to me
Okay.
as I'm moving past.
Okay.
If I can remember what the heck the roll. Whatever.
He all out attacked you. That will hit.
Oh, okay. 23.
Yeah, that's a 17. That's not enough.
Cool. So she kind of, she's headed toward the front.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of grabs his head on the way past, like sort of jumps up and grabs his head on the way past and takes it down into one of the gravestones as she keeps going. So she will look for some kind of entrance along the front here, assuming there might
So
be like
there's an entrance here.
Okay.
Because that's where but there's presumably some way in from this end because several others came from that way.
All right, give me a second. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Back here. Okay. So, gotta go back. So she will move in this direction.
Is that the limit of your movement?
Nope.
So as you come around the corner, you see a misty form. You see Baker. You see a couple of vampires, and I think you can see Muse from where you're at.
I
You
can.
see Muse, you see a pile of like 5 piles of ashes in front of them.
So I will move. I will finish my movement there.
Okay.
And go. Hey.
Hey.
Is that it for your?
That is it.
Okay.
I'm learning that vampire demon cultists burn easily.
I have no green cultists left. Carrie.
So Carrie, so my movement is only 30 feet, but I feel like my camera can move further than that.
It absolutely can. You can move your camera. You can move your camera pretty much anywhere that you can see from where you started.
A bajillion feet a second.
So I'm assuming that that's just like an open entrance to the church, right? Like I don't have to like maneuver my way through there.
Oh no.
Okay. So she's gonna go into there. And she will take a quick look around to see what she can lift.
I mean, there's a lot of ruined pews.
I was
One
gonna
of
say, I think
fire.
she's gonna take one of the as intact as she can find, or as she can see, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
Pew.
Yes.
And
all I can think is pew pew.
I know. I was trying not to do it, and then I was like, also, then I forgot what the word was. I was like, what am I trying to say? What is the thing I'm looking for? So she's going to lift up one of the pews, and she is going to swing it like a bat at the orange vampire.
Okay.
Well, at his head specifically. She's basically treating him like a T-ball.
Yeah. And
So
that's
that is a DC
perception
23.
range, so I don't get to roll anything. I just have to make a toughness save. I don't think a 19 does it.
Nope, it's a 23.
All right, tell us what happens to poor
orange guy.
So
she basically sees that he's close to, the two people that she knows. So she lifts up the pew right behind him and just swings between Muse and Harper and just swings it to take his head off like a T-ball. So then it's just like, and just smashes to the ground.
All right. That's unfortunate. Dutch is going to say, I appreciate the save, Andy, but you should have gone inside with Alyssa and Henry. Yeah. All right, let's move it. And Dutch is gonna again attempt a acrobat or athletics check because he does not have super speed.
Good for you, Dutch.
He does have very good athletics, however.
He's twice as fast as the teddy bear.
Fair. Just measure this rather than. Yeah, so he'll book it over there with one move action. And comes inside with the second. I have a blue blood cultist who's still alive.
You're my boy, Blue.
He is also going to run for that little nave to the north and get the hell out of Dodge. Lair.
Well, I'm just going to walk right back over here to Marcus and go, Marcus, is it? Nice to meet you. I'm Lawrence. I take it you weren't trying to get here. Since we seem to be shy of vampires out here, I feel comfortable with that. Except for our vampire, but that's beside the point.
Well, we were trying to get anywhere from other than where we were, to be frank. This is Earth, you said, right? What year is it?
Where did you come from again?
Most recently of Tartarus, but prior to that, Titan City, 1933.
We'll have a lot to talk about very soon. Just sit tight and I guess have fun.
Okay.
Not my idea of a good time.
Fair, shared, but necessary.
Let's see. Next round, that takes us to Dr. Eastman. There is a single vampire in this room.
Poor little feller.
Yeah, Dr. Eastman's going to just step back away from him, point his wand at him, at the vampire. And tries to zark him.
Ooh, not from that one.
Ooh, not within that one.
Ooh.
Oh, but we just said the same thing. This is proof we are family.
But you know what? He has luck, so I'm going to use a luck point for him
Oh, that's fair. Let him be cool.
because that's lame.
Let him be cool after we all walked in and did cool things.
Yep.
At 10.
Yep, that'll blast. I don't know why it didn't show. It isn't like doing the regular damage thing, but should be a toughness 27 or DC 27 toughness, which the vampire can only make on a natural 20. And look, that's not a natural
Not a
20.
natural 20.
So, yeah, that will obliterate that vampire. All right. Dutch, before we go any further, Dutch will look to everyone inside and say we should regroup before we follow them down.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we will go ahead and take our break.
Yippee.
Oh, that's me.
Yes.
I was just panicking, like, where's the button?
Where's the button? Where's the button?